Hi there, and welcome to this product demonstration of TIBCO Jaspersoft. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of Jaspersoft, introduce you to its use cases, and most importantly, we're going to show you how it works. This is a perfect video for anyone who is new to Jaspersoft and wants to see it in action. More specifically, this tutorial consists of two parts. In part one, you'll see a few slides that will introduce you to Jaspersoft, its capabilities, and a few of its use cases. In part two, you'll see an actual product demonstration. We'll show you how Jaspersoft works, what Jaspersoft looks like embedded inside another application, and how you can create content like visualizations and dashboards that you can then embed. You'd like to go right to the demo, you can skip ahead. But if you're not in a rush, I encourage you to stick around for the next few slides because they do provide helpful context for the demo section. So Jaspersoft has two primary use cases, and as you might have guessed from last slide, this video is going to focus on embedded BI, which I'll describe here shortly. The second use case is reporting, and this is for large-scale distribution of reports. We're not going to focus on the pure reporting use case in this demo, but if you're interested in learning more, there's plenty of great on-demand content on the reporting use case available through jaspersoft.com. So what is embedded BI? Embedded BI is about inserting BI capabilities into another application. Traditional BI typically requires users to go to a separate BI or analytics application when they want to analyze data generated by your app. And embedded BI places that BI functionality into the host application itself. And users really like this because it puts the data and insights they need within the context or environment where they're already taking action, and that is, of course, within your application. And we'll get into this in more detail in the demo section. Now that we have a basic understanding of embedded BI, let's take a closer look at what is Jaspersoft. The one-sentence description is that it is an embeddable reporting and analytics platform designed for software builders, and you'll see what we mean by that more in the demo section. And while it's designed for software builders to embed it into their applications, the end users of Jaspersoft tend to be non-technical, non-analyst users who could benefit from having helpful data visualizations and dashboards to support their decision making. Jaspersoft is built to 100% web standards and actually has an award-winning JavaScript API called visualize.js. And this allows you to embed reports, dashboards, and visualizations seamlessly into web applications with as few as a couple of lines of JavaScript. And this is important for modern software builders who are trying to create rich data experiences for their users. Multi-tenant support gives you centralized management of customer data, and this is particularly important for SaaS vendors that have many customers. Jaspersoft gives you out-of-the-box control to segment data and resources across your customers. And finally, our customers tend to have various environments and want to deploy Jaspersoft in a variety of cloud and on-premise environments that span operating systems, application servers, cloud topologies, containerization platforms like Docker. One of the differentiators for Jaspersoft is that it is architecture agnostic, making each of these scenarios possible. Now, with Jaspersoft, there are a number of ways to do embedding. This demo will focus on the most seamless method, which is done through JavaScript. This is the method that gives you the most power and control over how BI looks and how it behaves in your application. Now let's move into today's product demo, which is going to show you this workflow of how to design visualizations and dashboards, and then how you can embed them immersively into your applications to create powerful data experiences for your users. And to lead this product demo, I'm going to cut to an excellent recording done by one of our solutions consultants, Scott Anderson.
Now I'd like to show you this new embedded BI workflow. First, I'm going to show you how easy it is to design using Jaspersoft's web-based tools. We'll then look at how those those visualizations, both reports and dashboards, can be embedded immersively within your application. But to start off with, I want to give a quick glimpse of what an embedded dashboard might look like. As you can see, there's very little distinction between where the dashboard ends and the application begins. But you get a lot of different capabilities, exporting, zoom, interconnection. But let's go back over, and now let's actually show you how easy it is to create a dashboard. When you're providing data to the user for creating a dashboard, there's a couple of ways of doing so. You can actually create topics, which are canned queries that you write for the user. The user then executes that query, pulls the data into memory, and modifies that data and uses it in a chart or a table or a report. Or you can use our domains. Now, a domain is a metadata layer where you define the architecture of your data and translate it into a business model, applying both multi-language labels as well as security to that business model. What this does is it makes it so that when the user gets into the ad hoc designer, they basically see the information in a business structure, making it easy for them to simply start selecting values that they want on their report. So using a drag and drop interface, I can quickly start creating this sales chart. I can then add some dimension to it by adding a country, and there's different ways of adding things. I can do a right click to add the rows, add state to the rows, or just do a double click on the name and that'll add it to the rows. End result is I've got a sales chart that I can drill down to the store level and see their sales and their performance. But Jaspersoft gives you a number of other options as well. You can change how the data is aggregated, how it's rolled up. You can change how time balance calculation takes place. You can control the format of the data. You can add filters and sorts. You can even create a top-end report. Perhaps you want to see the top 3 performers at each level. And Jaspersoft, behind the scenes, generates the queries and does the aggregations for you. You don't need to know the underlying data source, the underlying technology. All you need to know is what kind of report I want. Now, Jaspersoft also creates great tabular reports where the data is presented in a tabular format. Or you can come over and create charts. Now, Jaspersoft by default created this columnar chart based on the same selections I'd made with the crosstab. Now, over on the top right, I have the ability to zoom in and zoom out to see different aspects, different levels of the information. But say I really need is a profit table, a profit chart. Well, I don't have profit in my model, but I do have sales and cost, so I can go out and create a custom field or a custom measure. And when I create that custom field, I have access to all of the fields within my model. So I can come down here and just grab those sales and cost numbers and find the difference with just a couple of quick clicks. Now, Jaspersoft also offers a number of functions in the formula creation, ranging from numeric functions, string functions, date and calendar functions. You can add logic functions for a more complex formula. You can even have complex aggregation functions. Once you've got once you've got that created, you can go out and control how the raw data gets aggregated. Maybe you want to see average profit instead of the sum of the profits. So go ahead and save that again. And down here in the bottom, there's that profit field available for me to use. Simply grab that field, drag it, and drop it onto the chart, and it basically adds it to the chart. Well, it's there, but you can see it's there. It's in the legend. And you can also zoom down using our HTML5 capability, where you can zoom down and see that profit down there. But if you have to zoom into a chart, perhaps this columnar chart's not the best solution. Well, Jaspersoft currently offers 36 different chart types in its ad hoc designer, ranging from bar charts, line charts, area charts, to scatter charts, pie charts, even heat and tree maps. Now, I do want to point out that this is the ad hoc designer. Jaspersoft also has a studio tool, a desktop tool, which allows you to design very detailed, complex, pixel-perfect reports. We'll talk about that in a separate demonstration. But I just want to get a chart out very quickly, so I'm going to switch to this multi-axis chart, and now I can see all of the information at a glance. The next thing I want to show you is that you can use any field or measure in the model as a filter simply by dragging it over here to the right in the filter area. And Jaspersoft generates the appropriate input controls based on the type of field. You can control the type of comparison that you want with that field. Maybe I want a multi-select pick list. Just go ahead and zoom in on the dry and the drink and the food information. And now I've got that information filtered down to the level I need. The next thing I want to show you with our Ad Hoc Designer is the ability to change the format of your charts. You can change how axes behave. You can control when and where labels appear in your chart. You can control the appearance of certain data points in certain chart types. But this Advanced Properties tab is very useful. Now, Jaspersoft uses high charts as its charting library. And so you can actually take and create and leverage high chart properties to control the format of your chart. There's a lot of things you can do with that. But I'm just going to change the color for now. And so now I've got the chart in the format I want. Now, ultimately, these charts don't do you any good unless you can share it with other people. And there's a number of ways of doing it. You can actually go out and export directly from the Ad Hoc Designer to a wide variety of formats: PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. And you could also save this analysis back into the repository. So I'll go out here and save this into my analysis folder down here. And you have control over where people can save things. And you can, from any analysis, also publish a report. And when I publish a report, I have the option of applying a template to it. This allows me to put headers, footers, logos, and styles on that report. Go ahead and save that report, and now that report is out there and can be used just like any other report. It can be scheduled, pulled up on a mobile device, added to a dashboard, or embedded in a web page. In fact, let's go see what this report would look like once it's immersively embedded in this application. So I'll come down to my Ad Hoc View page, and down here in the bottom left, there's that new Ad Hoc View that I just pulled together. Just select it, and it pulls right up, and it's basically immersively embedded. And not only do you get the chart, but you also get other functionalities, such as the ability to change the visualization type. Maybe you want to see that raw data, and that raw data can inherit the styles from the page. It has infinite scrolling. You can do the zoom in and zoom out just like you would in a normal ad hoc crosstab view. Let's go back now and show you how you can create dashboards with Jaspersoft. Actually, I'm going to start with this blank starting dashboard. And the only difference between this and from scratch is it has this text area at the top, but it also happens to be embedded over here in my application. Again, allowing us to see how it would look once it's embedded. Come back over to the designer. Over on the left is a list of all the reports I have access to. Simply come down here and grab the report, drag it, drop it into my dashboard design area, and it fills the available space. I can then come out and control how this particular report will behave with respect to the dashboard. I can change the name. I can turn on a number of buttons. I can control how it behaves when a dashboard gets resized. Oh, well, let's keep it so that it always shows the full width. And you can also turn on auto refresh settings either at the report level or also at the dashboard level. So let's go ahead and save that. But let's get some more content. Let's grab this unit sales detail report. And as I add additional content to the report designer the dashboard designer asks, where do you want it with relationship to the existing content? Maybe above and below or next to the text area. Now let's put them side by side. Now that analysis that we just used, that would look really good on this dashboard. So I'm just going to add it to my dashboard as well. Now as I add content to the dashboard, down here in the bottom left, the designer keeps track of all the inputs that each of these reports will respond to. They all need a product family, so I'm going to grab one of those and add it to my dashboard. And basically the input control is added to the dashboard. Now currently it's tied to just the profit detail report. Well, I could come up here and use my parameter mapping dialog to map that one input control to all the reports that need that product family. And so I can make it so that they're all controlled and integrated. So now the dashboard's looking kind of boxy. Well, you have ultimate control over the positioning of content on your dashboard. So you can rearrange that content until it looks like you want it to. Let's go over here, take a quick peek at the dashboard, and we have a fully functioning dashboard where you can zoom in and zoom out on content. You've got the refresh and the export capability. You can export an image of the dashboard, and then we can also change the selections, apply it, and everything gets updated accordingly. But I want to show you some additional functions that you can do with the dashboard designer. So I'm actually going to remove this for now. Now this dashboard designer allows you to add additional content. You can put images on the dashboard. You can put web content on the dashboard. You can put text areas on the dashboard. And both text areas and images can be hyperlink enabled or turned into buttons so that you can navigate through both on the dashboard as well as off the dashboard. These top three, this table, this crosstab, and this chart, are useful when you're creating a dashboard on the fly. Say, for example, I needed a product family sales chart, but I don't have one in the repository yet. Well, I could go out there and create one using the ad hoc designer and then pull it into my dashboard. Or I can simply grab a chart, drop it on my dashboard, and then use that ad hoc designer to quickly create that chart for my dashboard. Again, it's a very quick process where I come out and just make a couple of quick selections. Product family, store sales. Up at the top right, zoom in so I can see all of the content. Basically, I flip on this chart type, switch it to a pie chart, which may look better on my dashboard. Again, I want to go and do a little bit of formatting to it. Maybe remove the legend because it's a simple chart. And of course, I want to also make that color scheme look so that it matches the rest of my dashboard. So I'll go ahead and add that in as well. And so now, oops, looks like I made a quick simple mistake here. I forgot to save the property. That always helps if I save the property. Go ahead and apply that. Now I've got the new chart. I'm going to go out and save it in my dashboard. Call it my product family sales chart. And this product family sales chart is now available and embedded in my dashboard. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that in addition to basic properties, you also have hyperlink properties on ad hoc charts, where I can then navigate from both on the dashboard as well as to new content. And I also have access to both the measures and dimensions associated with that chart. So now I can go out and use the parameter mapping dialog to map the input control, the click event to the different reports that need a product family. So when I click on the chart, it'll detect where in the chart I'm clicking and pass that product family on to the different pieces. I also can put parameters on text areas and on URLs and images, allowing me to fully design and interact and combine the dashboard, integrate the dashboard together. So I'm going to save the dashboard out there, come over here to the web application, refresh. Now that dashboard is embedded in my application. It has all the different functionality, the ability to zoom in and zoom out. It's got the export and the refresh button, and click on my chart, it updates to reflect all the different aspects of it. So it's easy to create content, dashboards and reports, and have them embedded in your application. But the embedding can be very seamless. You can take and put charts on and have the charts both respond to your application. This green area is my application, and have actions within the clicks on the chart direct you to different parts of your application. You can also put geographic components on your dashboard. Add some clicking events onto those geographic components, providing some great navigation. Even embedded charts can be interacted with. For example, I don't like spider charts. Well, I could switch over and use a columnar-based chart as an end user. Or perhaps category is my most important feature. So I'm going to move category to the front to be my first column. I'm going to then sort on that category. I can then filter out items that I'm not interested in. Maybe I only want to see those items that have a case lot greater than 1. And I can also do some basic formatting of this chart, both headings and details, or conditional formatting. Maybe I want to highlight those items that have a higher priced point. Come over here, change it to bright green color. And so now, basically, I've created that chart, and I've not had to involve the IT department at all. I basically can produce the report, and then if you give me the right access, I can save this report back into the repository and use it going forward. Or I can simply export it to a variety of formats, as you saw earlier, and then when I export that report, I get it in the format that I redesigned. Very easy, and from here I can print it, I can save it, do whatever I need with it. Now, one other area is a few more things to show you about embeddability. Jaspersoft can be used to provide data to third-party visualizations. This screen has a lot of different images on it. The data for those images were provided by Jaspersoft's ad hoc view. Our location page has 4 other charts on it. 3 of these charts are ad hoc charts that have been reformatted and given and styled to match my look and feel. From the summary report to a detailed chart down to the product, the cross tab at the bottom. You can tie input controls so that you can interact with them very easily. And you can even provide data to third-party reporting visualizations. For example, this map, it's a leaflet map. It's not Jaspersoft, but the data is provided by Jaspersoft. And Visualize.js, that JavaScript API we've been working with, provides you with the ability to tie even those charts together with your application and with the charts provided by Jaspersoft. So it's very easy to make a very integrated and embedded experience for your end users using that Visualize.js JavaScript.
If you're interested in learning more about Jaspersoft, here are a few great resources for you to check out. The Jaspersoft Quick Start Guide shows you the getting started process with Jaspersoft. Live samples of Visualize.js allow you to play around with the API through interactive fiddles. And to dig deeper into Embedded BI as a whole, we encourage you to check out our on-demand webinar called Embedded BI 101 and/or subscribe to our Jaspersoft YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching.